feel-good buzz factor around Newcastle this week?
Oh, is it because you're not there?
No, it's because of the takeover buzz.
Oh yeah, I've seen a bit of that on Twitter, but can you answer me one question?
Certainly.
Who the hell is Adam Pearson?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought on that intro, you know what, we've got to stick on the Irish guy clip from yesterday because that one got a good laugh out of me. So listen, if you're watching this, tell your mum I said hi. But anyway though, welcome back to the channel guys. We've got more Newcastle United transfer news. Quite a lot has happened in the last couple of days. A lot of good information now is coming out about outgoings as well as potential players we could sign. There's a new player in the mix now, which you would have seen by the title and, well, just about everywhere yesterday. Sky Sports, Fabrizio Romano, they're all on the case regarding this player. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to get into. This is the final transfer news video before the return of the vlogs. We're going down to Brighton tomorrow, so there'll be an overnight stay vlog tomorrow, and of course we've got the vlog on Saturday. So yeah, big game this one. They're beating Manchester United, we're beating Nottingham Forest. Something has to go. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But anyway guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, make sure to get down there, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for the support on the channel as always. If you don't want to miss any uploads, make sure to get down there and hit that subscribe button. But as well as that, you can also smash the like button. And finally, question of the day, score predictions against Brighton. How do you guys think we are going to get on against Brighton on Saturday? Remember, we have never won there in the Premier League. We've only beat Brighton once in the Premier League actually, which was our last occasion against them with the 2-1 win. So can we continue the winning streak against them? I sure hope so. But anyway though, enough about me. Without further ado, let's get into all of the news. Anyway, let's begin off by talking about the Carabao Cup, because yesterday Newcastle drew Tranmere Rovers away. Actually a good game. I'm looking forward to this one. Now, first off, we drew Accrington Stanley away, but that was just a mistake. Somehow, I don't know how you can make that mistake. But yeah, I can't exactly speak. I had a live stream about it yesterday and I just missed Newcastle's draw somehow. I don't know how I managed to do that. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for the support on the live stream yesterday. A lot of donations, so again, really do appreciate that. And just people watching in general, thank you for watching it. But yeah, as I was saying, Tranmere Rovers away is actually a really good match. And we played Wolves away, Tranmere Rovers and Liverpool away in the same week. Like in the space of 7 days and all in the same area. So I tell you what, you can make a good week out of that if you can get your time off work. So for me, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do yet. But I tell you what, those are 3 good games. I'm looking forward to each and every one of them. So let's talk about potential outgoings of the club now. So Newcastle United, as we know, are still active in the transfer market. They will sell more players, they will buy more players. It's that simple. This football club will get the job done. But as for players that could potentially leave the football club, there are quite a few players that could still go. But Chris from The Athletic has came out with his opinions on what players he expects to potentially leave in this window. So we'll begin off with the goalkeeper situation. Now, he believes that one more goalkeeper will still leave. So what are Martin de Braga, Carl Dolo or Mark Gillespie? Well, first off, my guy Gillespie, I think he's safe. It'll be one of Dolo or de Braga who would think that will leave the club. And in my personal opinion, if one was to go, it would be de Braga. There's seen bits about his agent come out in social media and go, well, de Braga deserves first team football. There's teams out there that are interested in signing de Braga. If we don't get first team football, we will want to go elsewhere. Which, to be fair, de Braga's about 32 now or so, and he's at that age of the goalkeeper where he needs to get first team football. Of course, the World Cup this year, I can't remember if his team's actually in it or not, but the point is, he will still need first team football so he can get just what he wants going forward. So it's a bit of a tricky one because Newcastle, of course, signed Nick Pope to give competition to de Braga and have 2 good goalkeepers. But now with de Braga potentially leaving, you would think what they're going to do next. They're going to sign another goalkeeper. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with this one. That's just my personal opinion anyway. If one was to go, it would probably be de Braga. But as well as that, Chris believes that Matt Ritchie could potentially leave in this window. The player wants to go back down south. And again, Matt Ritchie is at that stage of his career now. He's not going to start for Newcastle. He just isn't going to do it. It wasn't starting anyway under Steve Bruce. And the fact that we're signing so many more players now, it just goes further and further and further down the pecking order. And he's a great servant. He's done some great things at his football club. But he's just, I mean, he's just not a place for him anymore, is this? So it would make sense to sell him. Obviously, Bournemouth had great success down there, so it would make sense for him to go back to Bournemouth potentially. But yeah, a move down south he is potentially wanting, so he's an all I want to keep an eye for. He thinks Matty Longstaff's going to go out and loan as well. Yeah, I think this one's a bit obvious. He's lost his number 4 shirt at Botman. Of course, I got it at the back of my shirt there. So he's lost the number 4 shirt. He's a player that had a field load spell at Aberdeen. He's done a little bit better at a League Two club, but ultimately he still hasn't really proven himself to get anywhere near Newcastle's squad. So he's an all when you expect to go. Chris hasn't talked about these two players, but personally for me, I would still keep an eye on Federico Fernandez and Javier Manquillo. Those two, I think, could potentially leave. Obviously, as I said there, Chris hasn't spoken about them. But that's someone, personally, I would keep an eye on. But yeah, plenty of outgoings there. Which players do you guys want to see leave? As for potential players that could come into the football club, we'll start off by talking about the new one that's popped up yesterday, Gonzalo Ramos from Benfica, the striker. Now, first off, we've got Fabrizio Romano coming out talking about him. We've got Sky Sports themselves talking about it. So this one has a lot of weight to it. All the mainstream media are talking about this guy. So this one has been confirmed that Newcastle have entered the race to try and sign the main man. Now, a problem with Ramos straight away is the fact that Benfica have already sold Darwin Núñez to Liverpool in this window. So that's a second attacking player they could potentially sell now, which would mean that this player could potentially be more expensive than what he's actually worth, depending on how things go with this. So yeah, that's something you need to watch out for, but it's positive. This is someone that looks good. Again, just like the majority of players, I've never watched him play before. Obviously, I was down in Lisbon a few weeks ago, but I can't really judge him off a pre-season match. But yeah, he scored 7 in 29 last season. He's actually scored a hat-trick in the Champions League in his last games. So this player is definitely hitting some form, and it's a good opportunity for Newcastle to bring him in. And, I mean, he might actually be somebody that the club could potentially start over Wilson, believe it or not. So, I mean, yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one for sure. This one looks promising. It looks good. It looks like Newcastle are definitely putting him towards the top of the list to try and sign him. So, yeah, I've got no problems with this whatsoever, but what does this potential deal mean for the other two we were talking about in the last video? So what does this mean for Bamba Dieng now, the Marseille striker? Because if Newcastle's trying to sign one striker, why would they try and sign a second one? So we're talking about Bamba Dieng now. So Fabrizio Romano has actually also came out and said that Bamba Dieng will leave Marseille for 15 million euros, and there's multiple Premier League teams that are interested in him. Doesn't name any Premier League teams, but there are teams in the Premier League want them. You would think Newcastle one of those if we're going to judge him off our reports that came out, otherwise there's going to be a bit of a contradiction there. Now, it's possible now that Newcastle haven't actually went in for either player. They just sort of think about which one they should go in for, or they actually want to have Bamba Dieng as like a second choice if they can't get the Benfica player in. So potentially they might go back for Bamba Dieng. So it's good to see the club actually trying to fix the striker situation. I've said it multiple times now, when Wilson gets injured, we will be screwed if we don't have a nice striker in. So yeah, the club is understanding of that, and they will get a nice striker. But the fact that Newcastle are active and trying to get the Benfica man in, it more or less completely rules out James Maddison. I can't see the club going in for James Maddison now. It makes no sense. The money's being spent elsewhere. We're not going to go back in and dump 50, 60 million pounds in James Maddison. I just can't see it happening at all. So yeah, I think that completely rules him out of the mix now. But this is another player in the mix, a Benfica striker and Bamba Dieng. We'll see what happens to these two. And finally, last but not least, Lucas Paqueta, of course, a footballer that I think every Newcastle fan just wants to see in the midfield with Bruno and Joelinton. Just that full-fledged Brazil midfield. Oh my God, this sounds disgusting, doesn't it? So as for him, there's been a little bit of rumbling going on. There still hasn't been any official bids really going in for him. It's just more of sort of just bubbling around in the media. So we'll see what happens to this one. There is interest definitely there from the club. The club has never said no to Paqueta. They have always had the interest. It just never went in for him. So yeah, somebody asked Eddie Howe about Paqueta and Ramos, but obviously the club is just not going to comment on that. So yeah, we've got no replies on that. That was just expected anyway. But the fact is, though, obviously the club is aware of the interest in social media. The club is aware of the connection between Paqueta and Bruno. Eddie Howe in a press conference last season talked about how he knew firsthand about the connection those two players have and how it's important in a squad for those chemistry to have it between players, really. So he's fully aware of the relationship with Bruno and Lucas, and we never know. If the price is right, I think the club could potentially go in for him. Now that I believe Maddison is dead, who would the club sign midfield? But Jonjo Shelvey out until November/December time. It kind of forces the club by the hands to go get another midfielder in, because all we've got left, if someone else gets injured, is Sean Longstaff and Eddie Anderson. That's it. Those two we've got to rely on. Two youngsters, two players that are going to get chucked in the deep end, and it's just going to be really hard for those two to settle in. So we'll see what the club does. There's still plenty of time to go, and yeah, the next time I'll actually do a transfer video will be on Sunday, and by Sunday you would think there'd be some resolutions or some progression on these players. So yeah, I think Sunday's video is going to be good. Obviously tomorrow we have got the overnight stay vlog, and on Saturday we've got the vlog itself. So plenty of stuff to look forward to on the channel. I can't give away anything yet, but I have got some other things potentially in the rumbling. So listen, you're backing the right horse over here. So that's all I'm going to say. So yeah, anyway guys, take care. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the Brighton match. Personally for me, I would take a point. Obviously, I want to see the team win, don't get me wrong, but I still think it's a hard place to go. The confidence those players have, their first home game, they just beat Manchester United last week. I actually think it'll be a really hard game, so I would take 1 point down there. Obviously, I want to see us win, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think at this moment in time, I wouldn't say no to a point. But maybe I'm just being a bit negative, I suppose. I want to see us get all three. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, take care, and yes, I will see you all tomorrow.